Hello, everybody. Hello. Give it a few minutes and let some people come in. I'm gonna do some invitations. Hello, how y'all doing today? Today is going to be a great conversation with anyone, to tell you the truth, who decides that they want to come on. And also, but I'm gonna also invite a young lady who is a great friend of mine. She'll be coming on in a few. I'm gonna give me just a moment and let me send her this invitation. And if you guys want to come on, if you want to come on, let me know, and I will definitely send you the link. That way you can come on. Just give it a few minutes, and let me do some invitations here. Give me just a second. I hope she comes. I hope it pops up. Okay, give me a few minutes and we will. Okay, I tell you what I'll do is I will, let's see if I can email it to her. Maybe I can email it because it's not picking up. Just a moment, y'all. Just a moment. Oh, you know what? I do it just like this. Give me just a minute. I can do it just like this. And I am telling you, if you come over here, give me just a second, y'all. I'm trying to get my link together here so I can send it to someone who wants to join me. And we'll go from there. Oh, new message. Give just a moment. Just a moment. I'm sorry, y'all. Just giving me a message here. Give me a second. And I'm coming on as soon as I can send this out. Let's see. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's go back. Okay. Let's see. Give me just a second. Let me see if San is on here. And I'm going to share. I'll share that with her over here. Where is she? One second, guys. Hello. Thank you for joining me. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure that I have everyone on. And I'm going to send invitations. Give me 1 second, please. 1 second, 1 second. One second. Okay, let me. Naya, I told you. Okay, hello everybody. I was just having a little technical difficulties. I don't know. I'm not tech savvy at all, but I'm trying to learn this thing here. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me pretty well? I hope so. I hope so. Okay. Well, without further ado, let me get started. Hi, Miss Tanya. How you doing? I pray that all is well. This is after the election. We're going to talk about this. My group now is formed to talk about all kinds of things. We're going to be talking about spiritual things, political things, health and mental health things, all kinds of stuff that, if you throw in the top business is one of my number one topics. But since we came into the election time frame with me revamping the group and everything, I wanted to not necessarily do a deep dive in the political arena, but more so to see what your thoughts are versus my thoughts and how this election is affecting us coming for, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, because we're kind of we're down on the ground, so to speak. So the things, the top people sitting in those offices, the things that they see, we don't necessarily see, nor do we really feel. It's not out of the norm to experience what they call a recession, because a lot of us experience a recession a lot of times. Okay, so I just wanted to have a discussion about that. Well, in the midst of all of that, the election situation turned out to be something so different than what I'm accustomed to, and I'm sure you too. I don't know of any time in the world, in the American history, where we have experienced an election where it seems that the former, well, he's still the president, where it seems that the president does not want to leave and help the new coming president come in and take over, take hold of the office. I would be like, deuces, I'm ready to go. I gotta go. It's time to go. But we know we're dealing with a different type of individual sitting in that seat. And we know that it is going to be prayerfully. No, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to guess. I'm just going to say it's when it's time for President-elect Joe Biden to swear in, then the President Trump will relinquish his reins and be okay with it. So I'm believing for that. I'm believing that everybody out there in America will be okay with that. We thought that it was going to be a real big to do when President Obama won. We thought that we would have a lot of aggression out there, and it wasn't really a whole big problem. You have people feeling the way they felt, and that's rightfully so. So I wanted to talk about what are your views as far as the election, the way it turned out, way that it came out. And hopefully soon, real soon, I'll have a young lady joining me, and she'll give her thoughts on it. But until you send in a question or what have you, then I'm going to give my views on it. I felt that whew, first of all, let me say this. I didn't want to vote. I really didn't. I felt torn, not so much so as I did prior to this. I had a torn feeling in the election with Hillary Clinton, when she ran. I was torn then, and but this time I was not necessarily torn. I just didn't know how I could really really, I don't know the words for it. I just didn't feel any way. I felt the feeling of doom either way it turned out. And that's how I felt, you know, and I kind of felt that way with Hillary's situation too. However, comma, I do believe that Mr. Joe Biden, president to be, will be a better, it will be a better situation with him. You know, I'm not necessarily saying that he's the answer to the problem, because God is the answer to the problem, in my opinion. And I'm not gonna take this all down the Bible road or what have you, but I know that man cannot solve the problem where we are. You know, we can't solve the problem with problems. You just can't do it. And it seems like no one wants to sit down and have a talk with people that have issues. No one really wants to come to a common ground, in my opinion. And here's what I'm saying when I talk about that. Let's talk, because I'm African American. Let me talk about reparations, the subject of that, the situation with that. Turn it down, please. The reparations. I do believe that if we all would hear each other out and compromise on that particular subject, which is a great subject, a subject that has been the question and has been a promise for years. Not necessarily something that African Americans have been begging and pleading for or asked for. It was something that was promised, you know, that was said, this is what you'll have, this is what you'll get, in order for you to not only pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but to also be on a semi even playing field, you know, and you don't have to go out here and try to make a river where there's dry, or make a dry land where there's a river, there are rivers. You'll have something to help you and your family come up, come up, you know, and how you handle those things after it is given to you from all your in regards to all your suffering, from all your pain, all your hard work, all your labor to build this country. This is what you're getting, okay? Although you deserve much more, this is what you're getting. And then to have people in this day and time tell you that ain't gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen. You can forget that. You can just put that back in your kit bag, close it up, seal it, throw it away. It's not gonna happen. Okay. So if we would readdress that, and I believe do the due diligence, keep our word, keep our ancestors' word on what was promised, then I think that would be better. We at least somewhat better, at least thinking a little bit clearly, you know, and willing to help each other, willing to be, God, that's just a big topic. So that is one part. I don't want to stay on that. But now let's get to women, because I'm a woman and I want to talk about us and an equal playing field when it comes to women. Now, because I worked in the military, I was in the military forever and a day. Been in the military all my life, so to speak. I did not really understand the how unequal it was out there for in regards to getting paid, in regards to money matters when it comes to a woman working a certain position and a man working that same position, whereas he's making more money here, he's getting more money. I totally was clueless to that. I did not know that based on where I was. Now coming out of the army and I get into real life, so to speak, and I'm hearing or I'm seeing these things and I'm like, oh my God, how in God's name is this appropriate? How is this right? How can anybody say that this is right and be okay with that? I don't get it. Because I'm a woman, I don't deserve the same pay that you're getting, and I'm doing the same thing you're doing. I don't get it. Okay, so that's another thing. And I felt like in President Biden would address those things better, would handle those things better. In fact, he started off by doing that better because he chose Kamala Harris as his running mate. So that in itself, proved to me that, yeah, this guy at least wants the appearance of, I want to do the right thing. I want to represent all America the best way that I know how and in my best effort. Now, when I go back to President Trump, and I have to say that I'm not a total hater of this guy, because I'm not. There are things that I actually liked about him, and prior to him becoming the president, and while he was the president, but I could not move past gender issues. I could not move past that. That's just something I could not move past. The blatant disrespect for women. And I can't totally say that that was I feel the same way when it comes to racism. What I felt like was racism, or may not have been racism when it came to him, because I felt like he was evil across the board sometimes. He was evil across the board. So I couldn't say it was color, or ethnicity when it came to anything like that, or religion, because he says he's a Christian. And we all know that people have done a lot of crazy, evil things with and backed in their minds by Christianity. So I couldn't, so my whole thing as a woman, although I'm black first, I'm African American first, but I'm a woman, and I just could not get past that. I couldn't get, you totally disrespectful to women. And he handles women the same way he would handle a man in when it comes to a fight. And don't get me wrong, I want us to be treated equal, but we have to totally be honest about the thing. We are not equal in the aspect of how I regard you, how I look, how I honor you. I honor you the same. However, there's, in my mind, there's a leadership quality that comes from a man that a woman does not possess, and I'm okay with that in my mind. And it's to be reverenced, it's to be respected, it's to be adored, it's to be loved. And so you're treated in differently when it comes to that, but not wrongly, just differently, not offensively, just differently, not not ill treated or ill mannered, just differently. you know so that's how I feel about that. Okay, having said all of that, I'm going to take a little break, and I'll be back in just a second. Just a second. Okay. So now I am back. I'm going to do I'm going to wait a few minutes and let people come back in. I wanted to make sure that I had sent out that one invitation, just that one, and get my guests situated. So, if they are there any questions, or is there anyone that want to come on? I think I have one guest right now. Anybody that want to come on and say anything, you can, or ask a question. And if not, I'll keep on moving. Okay. So, again, about the election. So, where are we talked about the beginning as to my thoughts and how I was thinking in the beginning of the election, and where I was in my decision of voting and not voting and all that kind of thing. So, needless to say, I did go vote. Yay, did vote. All right. So, I'm usually pretty I guess a little accurate is the word, where I could kind of see which way it's going, right? Which way it's going. But we all experienced last time when we thought Hillary was going to win this thing, because it was showing that it was showing the numbers, which was showing it. Of course, the electoral college showed something different, and we see how that plays out. And so anyway, thinking in our minds that she was winning this thing, she ended up losing. Blew us all out the water, blew everyone out the water, and so we had President Trump. Okay, now in this whole thing, I was seeing, that the numbers were saying President-elect Joe Biden would be the president. It was showing this, not necessarily at first, but of course, as time went on, it was showing that he would win. But I wasn't so certain, because I was like, okay, last time, it showed the same thing, but the numbers were different. Now we come here, and President-elect Joe Biden did actually take in the most votes, as well as the numbers in the electoral college. He won all of that. So he won across the board. And I'm thanking God that I did take part in it the way that I did, because things that I learned in the 11th and 12th grade started coming back to me. Government, started coming back to me. And I'm like, okay, that's how it works. This is how it works. Okay, yeah. I remember. So, yeah. So I found myself feeling totally different in how I started off. I started out feeling like I didn't really care. And then when it turned towards him winning, and the numbers showed him winning, my goodness, it felt like I was out of this bad relationship. And I was free. Like, I was free. So I saw Van Jones, I think he's a lawyer. Saw him on forget which, was it CNN? It was NBC. I don't know, but anyway, he was on there, and he was crying and crying and crying. Now, I wasn't that carried away with it, but I understood where he was coming from, because I had just felt that same thing. I had just felt that I had gotten out of something so horrible, and finally the sun was shining just a little bit more. The sun was shining a little bit brighter. That's how I felt. And I know that I'm not a believer in man, so to speak. I'm a believer in the Almighty, the greatest energy there is, and that's God to me. But for some reason, my whole world changed just like that. I was like, wow, wow. It's like I came out of a bad dream. All right. Yeah, that's how I felt the next day when I started seeing the numbers really showing that President-elect Joe Biden was winning. Okay, so then so now we're up to the point of I don't hear anything from the president. Uh, I think what the last thing was that President Trump was counting or as demanding a recount, especially in Pennsylvania and different things like that. And then the military votes were still coming in, and he was demanding this, saying that things were allegedly, because I don't know what he was saying, but saying that this was not done legally, that President-elect Biden did not win and is not winning or what have you, that it was all wrong. Okay, so now that's where we are, and I do believe that President-elect Joe Biden has still been called the winner of the election, the presidency. So, if I'm wrong or right, you guys let me know. But I did want to tell you that I'm speaking from the mindset of the common person down here where I am. I don't know all the big lingo and all the accuracies of what someone said and what they've done. All I know is where we are in this, where I am in this life, in this economy and this world and everything this in America right now. Okay, I'm a civilian. I'm learning about these different things. I spent years and years in the military, so now I'm on this level, on this side of the coin, and I'm seeing things differently. Okay, so that's where we were. Now I want to kind of deviate for a minute, and I want to talk about some of the things I'm going to be bringing to the around the table discussion group. I had people to say that they wanted some business classes coming to the group. Some people telling me that they would like to see um, some more classes on side hustles and getting their business in order because COVID, that's our second topic with this election thing. COVID is on another wave right now. And a young lady told me today that her company has gone back to now 40%. 40% man, they're sending people home again, going home and they're telling them when soon as this thing is caught up or they got the grasp on things with the vaccine, the new vaccine that they have and everything, then they'll let people come back to work or what have you. Where I am in Tennessee, we have not been declared on lockdown as far as I know right now. But according to the powers that be, the now that President-elect Joe Biden has taken the reins on this COVID thing, they are saying to him, or he was advised that if he would lock down, have the country locked down for a couple of weeks or so, that then the COVID could be contained and it could be minimized and then eventually completely gotten away with if we would go into lockdown for about 3 weeks. Now, I did not bring the supporting facts on that as far as a link is concerned, but I just heard that today. So I'm going to say allegedly that is what was said, and you guys can research that. But if you think about it, I do believe in my heart of hearts that that's the way to contain this thing now, since they supposedly have a vaccine now, get everybody in, to be on a halt, back in lockdown, and then you just start calling people up. The the essential personnel first, then you have your next group and your next group and your next group, and then everybody will be taken care of. Now, I know people who saying, that they're not doing the vaccine or what have you, but I don't, I kind of was thinking that way. At one point, I was like, I don't think I'm doing that thing. I don't think I'm doing a vaccine. But now when I think about it, what is the alternative to that? If I don't do the vaccine, then I'm looking at possibly contracting COVID, or putting somebody else at risk for it. And it's not good either. It's not good. So either way, it's going to be, something that a chance that we all would be taking, So, anywho, on that note, I just thank God that I'm still here. I have not had COVID. I have not been, I have been around people who were either just finding out they had it, or they were getting over it, or whatever, declared negative at that point. So I have had people at first, it started out where I didn't know anyone who had COVID. I was like, is this even real? Because I don't know anybody, haven't heard anybody who knew anybody. Then all of a sudden, there were people, and more people. And so, it's something. It really is. In our lifetime, we're seeing something like this, And let me give my granddad a shout out. My grandfather, who is, I think he's 96, he was diagnosed with COVID about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. And he has, oh, there she is. There she is. Excuse me, y'all. There is. Let me see. Get her on. Uh-oh. Can I get you, baby? Let me see if I can get her on. Give me just a minute. There she goes. I think I got her.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how to position myself.
Sam, you there?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. I see you. Yay! Can you see me? Okay. I'm so glad you're here. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Sorry, I literally just hung up and ran up the stairs. I'm trying to position my camera.
That's okay. I you know what? You're good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're good.
My blind.
When you become when you're an officer, you learn to kind of talk and fill in gaps, do all these things, and as long as you have to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Who do we have on?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. It's just us right now. I had to we had a couple people earlier, but then we took a break for I was rambling, and so we took a break. But I learned that when I did my last one, we had more views when we were done.
Okay.
When we were done, we got more views.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Okay, so it's all good. I'm glad we get to talk. So tell us, Miss Sandra Doyle, Ming, former Ming, please tell us about yourself.
Oh, wow. So you have my bio. I served 25 years in the military, active duty the entire time. Very fortunate to do that. My husband did the same, 24 years, and we've been married now 2014, so about 6 years. And my son is currently serving in the Air Force. And like I said, I recently transitioned from the military after that many years into the civilian sector, which was tough in itself because you're used to a certain environment, you're used to a certain way of doing business. And so I crossed into corporate America through the Hiring Our Heroes program, which is phenomenal. I recommend it for anyone exiting the service. And so just for 6 or 7 months working in a corporate setting, just taught me a lot. I've never had an adult job. So I graduated high school, went straight to the military. So to have that experience was, it was eye opening. And while it didn't work out for me, mostly because of that whole passive aggressive thing that civilians like to do, I ended up coming back to work as a government employee, and I am currently a curriculum developer at Army University, and I mostly work on training for the captain's career course. So, and that's a lot. Did I lose you? I think I did. Looks like I'm by myself. Yeah, looks like I'm by myself. Should I close this blind? The blind is wearing me out. Did I lose you, Nikki? Or is it my internet? I don't know where she is. I'll get my cell phone. Okay, let's close this some. So, I don't know how to figure it out. Did I lose you, girl? Why is there an issue? Hmm. Oh, what's going on, Nikki? I don't know what's happening. Is everything okay?
Sandra?
I'm here. I'm still here. Why is it doing that?